Hi, fourthies. Thank you for joining me at our language lesson. We're on page 104. We are going to continue our work on adjectives. Yesterday we looked at how adjectives are used with what kind and how many. What kind meaning colors, shape, size. How many meaning numbers, right? It could be one, it could be a million, it could be anything in between, all right? But we're using like numbers, okay? So it was interesting teaching you about the Philippines, discussing that. And now here, we're going to continue with stories from the Philippines, as well as using adjectives to describe the Philippines. With adjectives, on page 104, not only do they answer what kind and how many, they answer which one. So when we say which one, we say like that, this, the, those, these, all right? So I can say this pencil, a pencil, that pencil, these books, okay? So that's which one. That answers questions of which one. How much is mentioning how many there are, but not like specifically a number. For example, if I say like, how much milk did you pour into your cereal? You'll just say a lot, or not so much, or a quarter, or whatever, okay? It's not a specific number. So here, which one, you've got this Saturday, next Christmas. And then for how much, you've got few mistakes or more children. We're going to fill out this chart. This is what I like about adjectives. We can fill out a chart. I used to do this with the fourthies. Period. Like every year we would make a chart and it would help them a lot. So I hope this chart helps you. So here we have the nouns. Okay, and you can write this down too. I think that would help if you write down nouns, because these are the things. So we've got nouns. What kind of hat? It could be a blue hat. It could be a big hat. It could be a small hat. It could be a triangular hat. Whatever, it's what kind. How many hats? I'm going to say, I'll say like 3. Which hat? That hat. So if I went to a hat store and I'm pointing it out to like a sales associate and they ask which one you want, I'll be like, that one, okay? Plate. Okay, so let's say your mom or dad asks you to set the table. So what kind of plate is it? Like a paper plate. I usually use paper plates at home because I don't want to wash dishes. Paper plate. How many paper plates? Well, there are 3 people living in my house, me, my mom, and dad. But when I did have my sisters living at home with us, there were 5 of us. So we would say 5 paper plates. Which one? Well, I'm going to say like these paper plates. Okay? These. Sorry if I'm going too fast. You are certainly more than welcome to fill in the blanks on your own. But we'll definitely do this at our Zoom meeting. I want to stop here because I want to do this at our Zoom meeting. I want to discuss with you the different words to use for what kind, how many, and which one. So if you want to pause to copy this down, that's cool. Sorry if I went way too fast again. Think B. Draw an arrow from each underlined adjective to the noun it describes. Write the adjective question each underlined adjective answers. Okay, so 2-step process here, and I'm going to explain it and go over at least the first 2 with you. The Philippines is a country made of numerous islands, and that's true. There's a lot of islands. In fact, there's a place called 100 Islands. When I went to the Philippines a couple years ago, we did island hopping. We hopped from one island to another on a boat, using a boat. It's a lot of work. The Philippines is a country made of numerous islands. All right, so they underline numerous. That's the adjective. And it's describing islands. So that's what you do. You draw an arrow from numerous to islands. Okay, and it answers a question, how much? Now, I'm using how much because I don't know specifically how many islands there are. Even though I just mentioned there are 100, honestly, there are over 100 islands. There probably is 200. But there are just numerous meaning so many to count. Okay, so I looked at the underlying adjective and I asked myself, what is it describing? It's describing islands. And then I asked myself, what question is it asking? It's asking how much. Number 2, from June to September, the Philippines gets more rain than the rest of the year. Totally true too. So again, here's the adjective more. More what? More rain. So I'm going to draw an arrow from more to rain. And then I'm gonna ask myself again, which of these is asking what kind, how many, or which one? It's asking how much again. I know how much isn't up here, but it is over here. So that's what it is. How much? So we will do, I would like to do 3, 4, 5, 6 at our Zoom meeting. I like doing things with you like live and in person, as best as we can in person, so that I can answer questions and I can tell if you get it or not. All right, think C. Draw an arrow from each adjective to the bold noun it describes. Some nouns may have more than one adjective. Interesting. All right, so we're going to do at least the first 4. Number 1, Aesop, that's how you pronounce it. Aesop wrote many interesting fables. A fable is a type of story that has a lesson at the end of it. Okay, so you've probably heard of the fable, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. It was a shepherd boy who was watching over the sheep, and he thought, oh, it'd be really, I want to know what would happen if I called out, wolf, wolf, there's a wolf here. So he did. And a lot of men came to see if they can protect the sheep and scare the wolf away. But of course there was no wolf. So the shepherd boy was like, oh, that's interesting. I'll try that again. And he tried it about 2 or 3 times when he kept going, wolf, there's a wolf here. And, men would come and see if there really was a wolf. Because the shepherd boy, I guess he was bored, or he just wanted to test the scene. But that wasn't nice to what we call cry wolf. Finally, when a wolf did come, and he cried, wolf, 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 there's a wolf here, no one came. Because they were like, that kid's lying. That kid, he keeps tricking us and joking around. Come on, dude, there's no wolf, watch the sheep. But there was a wolf, and the wolf ate all the sheep. And that poor boy was never trusted again. So the lesson is that tell the truth all the time. That's basically the lesson. So that's one of Aesop's fables. Now here, fables is bolded. It says Aesop wrote many interesting fables. So let's look for words that describe fables. Well, they're interesting. So I'm going to draw like a line. Interesting. And there are many. Like how many? Many. What kind? Interesting. One fable tells of an unusual bargain. Bargain means when you make a deal. So how many fables? One fable. Which bargain? An bargain. What kind of bargain? Unusual. Okay, so you see how I'm asking myself these questions. Which one, what kind, how many, how much? Okay, so again, if you want, here they are. What kind, how many, which one, how much? These are the kind of questions that will help you find the adjectives. And I like how here they made the nouns bold, so we can identify the nouns at least. Number 3, a hungry lion captured a helpless mouse. Okay, so I've got lion, that's the noun. Which lion? A lion. What kind of lion? Hungry lion. Okay, so mouse is also bolded. Which mouse? A mouse. What kind of mouse? Helpless mouse. Okay. So number 4 we'll do, and then at our Zoom meeting, we'll finish it up. The little mouse was frightened. Okay, so mouse is bold. Ask yourself these questions again. Which mouse? The mouse. What kind of mouse? Little mouse. Now, if you want to, give this a shot on your own, that's cool, because at least you're practicing level. This is level, let me make this a little thicker. This is level 4 thinking, because you're analyzing different parts of the sentences, and you're even breaking the sentences down to different sections so that you can see how it works, all right? But again, this was really fun. So let's go over what an adjective is. An adjective is a word that describes a noun or pronoun. And these are the questions that we ask ourselves. These are the questions that we ask ourselves when it comes to finding adjectives. What kind? How many? Which one? And how much? Okay? Thank you very much, Fourthies, for following along. I hope I didn't go too fast. But again, if you have any questions, please be sure to address them at our meeting. Awesome. I'll see you later.